Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anita and this is Sewing Yogi, and today I am going to show you some of the things that I have made. And probably since I think it was November the last time I did a vlog, so it's been a while. I do apologise. A lot has happened. So I'm going to just show you today what I've made. I've made a few things, a little bit more than I thought I'd made actually. But yeah, I'm going to show you those. But firstly, I'll just say I am recovering from a viral infection, so I do look a bit rough, and my throat isn't 100% still, but you know, it's getting there. Unfortunately, my glands have gone down. My glands were swollen quite a lot, and they were very, very painful, but they've gone down now, so that should mean that I'm on the mend. I'm still just having headaches, and I'm just, you know, very tired, fatigued. But yes, so we've had quite a few things going on. Obviously Christmas happened, and before Christmas there was a lot of parties, there was a lot of things going on. This is one of the things that I made for an event. We went out to a kind of like it's kind of like a DJ sort of rave thing. But yeah, for old Ibiza fanatics. Yeah, so we went to that and it was really good fun. But I didn't have anything to wear, so I quickly knocked this up, and I'll talk about this in a minute. We went to loads of gigs. We went to, yeah, a few parties, but other people's birthdays. My husband had his birthday. There was lots going on. So again, I didn't get a chance. Then Christmas happened, and yeah, Christmas was just, as always, crazy and a bit of a mad rush. Then I had some bad news for at the end of December, just after Christmas. My wonderful friend passed away. Yes, so that was hard. It was a real shock. He'd gone away to Thailand for a holiday with his son and his daughter-in-law, and unfortunately they had a quite a bad motorbike accident, and yes, so he died. And that was, yeah, it was shocking, and it knocked me quite a lot. He was an amazing man, very, very loving, very caring, did a lot of work for the AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. He was a mentor for a lot of people. He was a great, great friend. And yeah, it was quite devastating to lose him. And his funeral will be next week. So that will be hard, but it will be a nice way to celebrate his life and be with his family. I know his family quite well. He's been a student of mine for many, many years, and his family comes to me for yoga also. Yeah, so life has been a bit up and down, and I haven't really felt like vlogging. Just simply just wanted to take time out for myself, I think. Anyway, I'll stop rambling and I'll just get on with what I've made. So this one I've made, it is actually the free pattern from Tiana's closet, and it's called the Amanda tie top, I think. And I have made this before, and the first version I did was a wearable toile, but then having made that, when I looked at it, it was not quite right still. So I think I'd already altered the neckline and I'd lifted it slightly because it was a little bit low. I think I lifted that by about 2 centimetres. But I also noticed that these were a little bit wide on me, and when I was pulling them in, it was kind of making gaping creases, which suggested it was just too wide or wide for me. So I did a narrow shoulder adjustment on this, and I took it in by 1.5 centimetres, obviously on the 1/2. So it just brought it in nicely, about 3 centimetres for both sides. And they seem to sit nicely on my shoulders now. There's the ties that you tie. And then you have a nice deep, I'll just show you the back. You have a nice deep back here where it goes into a V, and that's really lovely. And you can obviously alter these straps so you can have it a little bit higher or lower or whatever you feel like. But I don't think I adjusted the back, just the front. No, I think I adjusted the back as well, actually. So I've lifted that up slightly as well. And then it's just got a facing inside. And I didn't alter the length of it because I think it's actually meant to be quite cropped. It's quite a short top, so I didn't touch the length of it. So it just sits nicely on me. As I said, I made this quickly for going out, clubbing, dancing. And it worked beautifully as well, actually, because I get really super hot when I'm dancing. I love dancing. Dancing is one of my favourite things that I do. I dance often just in the house on my own. It makes me feel good, it releases endorphins, just makes me feel happy. I love dancing. So yeah, we had a really good night that night, and I think this worked really nicely. So I'm wearing it with jeggings. I'll show you, I'll stand up and let you see the full thing. It's obviously black, so you can't really see very much, but this was why I made it in black, because I was going to be dancing and probably sweating quite a lot, which I think I did, but it was fun, and I loved wearing it. I'm going to make more of these because I really think it's a beautiful summery top. So yeah, you're not really probably going to see very much because they are black jeggings with a black top. You can just see where about it hits on my hip bones just below. It feels like a nice length for me, and I love this top. I really love it. I think it's really flattering, very pretty. Obviously, like I say, I did need to make some adjustments to it. I am just wearing it with some jeggings, which I purchased from M&S. They're just ready to wear ones, which I thought were better than jeans for dancing, getting my groove on. But yes, so I think it's a really nice top, very simple to make, very quick and easy. So yeah, I'd say if you're doing in the pattern, you can only print it with, I'll just drop down a bit so you can see my face. You can only print it through PDF. And the way that you print Tianas closets is the, what's it called, the layered. So you just print one size. And I would definitely suggest if you're going to do that, just print one size at a time, because it shows you a cutting line and a sewing line, and it's very confusing. So just do one size at a time if you're grading between two. That's my only advice for that one. But yeah, I really love this. I think it's really nice, and I'm going to make more, maybe some nice floral ones for the summer. Because it's really comfortable and breathable. This is just a viscose. I made this in a black viscose I purchased from Minerva with the view to make this. So yeah, that's this. Amanda top by Tiana's Closet. So you may remember from my previous vlog that I made a jumpsuit. This jumpsuit, which is Vogue 9245. Don't think it's in print anymore, but if you can find a copy, I'd definitely say get that copy because it's amazing. I made it before in a very floral viscose, and I did say I was going to make it again, and this is what I'm wearing right now. So I absolutely adore this version. It may not show up very well, the colour. It's a very deep forest green, or another colour I'd say is probably racing green. It might not show up that well on the camera, and this time I wanted to do it slightly differently. My previous version just has elastic around the cuffs, whereas this version I wanted to make a bit more of a fancier cuff, so I chose to make a cuff with the buttons and leave the fullness in the sleeve, so you're getting a little bit of a almost bell sleeve or puffed sleeve, I don't know what you call that. And I've never done this before, so I'd say it probably took me about 2 weeks to get this made. And I followed a tutorial that I found on YouTube, which I will put in the description below. It's very, very simple to do, but for me, I don't know why, it just took me ages to get this to. I was being perhaps a little bit too particular about where I wanted my buttons and getting it all to look crisp and really neat and lined up. I just wanted it to look perfect. So it has a little vent there, and yeah, I've chosen to do self-covered buttons, which don't match the front buttons. I'll show you the front buttons. They don't match those, but I just thought those would look too big and obvious on the cuff. I wanted something a little bit more fancy, so I just went with self-cover buttons for that. And yeah, that was a little bit of a challenge. All I did was just shortened the sleeve to the length of which I would like my cuff to be. I didn't take out any of the fullness, as I said, so all I did was made sure that the bottom of the sleeve was the same size. and then I created this calf piece and added that to the end. But yeah, I just put a few gathering stitches in, pulled it to the length or the width I needed it to fit that cuff. And yeah, pretty straightforward, simple, but like I say, it did take me a little bit of a while to get that to look how I wanted it. I did first do one, but I made it a little bit too narrow and I wanted it much, much deeper. So my first version went in the bin. And then I just redid it again. And the first sleeve I think I made it too short, so I had to recut that. But all in all, it worked out, I think, beautifully. And again, you've got the huge collar. This time I used a bit more of a stiffer interfacing for this top part of the collar, but then I chose a lighter weight one for this bottom part. I didn't really know how that was going to look, but I just thought it would work better, and I do think it's worked nicely because this one here is a little softer and sits nicely on the chest, whereas that one, it has a little bit more structure and does actually sit out like it's supposed to, which it's meant to kind of sit out quite pointed. As you see on the pattern, it's meant to have that quite sharp angle. So yeah, I absolutely adore this. My only issue with this is I didn't change the length of the crotch from the previous version. Now my previous version fits me fine. However, this fabric is obviously a lot more sort of structured and a sort of tighter weave, and there's no ease in it whatsoever. So regrettably, I feel that the crotch is too tight on me, and it's really annoyed me because I really, really loved this jumpsuit and really loved the fabric that I purchased. It's actually a Minerva buy, this one. I bought this crepe from Minerva. And yeah, I was really gutted. I wish I'd added a little extra bit onto the crotch. So when I did my seam allowance, I first of all did the 1.5 under the crotch, and then when I tried it on, I thought this is just too tight. So I've tried to get it as small as I possibly can, maybe to the width of the overlocking essentially. It's still tight, but it's not as bad. It's wearable. I can sit down in it. I just feel like it's a bit snug, a little bit snug around the rear area. But you know, what can we do? I've just got to have to live with it. I'm going to wear it anyway. I don't care. I don't care if anyone looks at me and thinks it's odd, but to be honest, I don't think anyone's going to notice. I will stand back so you can have a look at it. I made no other adjustments other than what I did for the previous version. And yeah, I reduced the waist down, but then I added some back in again. So I think all in all, I did take about an inch off that waist, which I'm going to have to add back in again for any of the next versions I do. I mean, again, my viscose version fits me. So I think if I did it in another viscose, I'd probably be fine with the pattern as it is. But if I was to do it in anything like this again, I would have to just add some more to the waist back in, or to the bodice. And yeah, it takes about 4.25 meters, but I made the size 6 on the neck, an 8 to the chest, and then a 10 down through to the hips, because I felt like I wanted a bit more room around the hip and bottom area. And I'm 5'2", so if obviously you're taller, you will need more fabric. But yeah, it takes 5 buttons and a 1/4 inch elastic if you're doing the version with the elastic around the cuff. But I will add that tutorial in for the cuffs if you want to have a go. Just, you could do that cuff on anything. I think the lady that does the tutorial is making a shirt and chooses to use that cuff. I really love this cuff. I've wanted one for a long time, always been a bit sort of afraid to try and have a go at it. I'm glad I've done it though now, and I know I can do it. So I will do that again in the future. So I shall stand back now and let you look at the whole full thing. I will obviously put pictures in as well in the corner that I've literally just taken because I haven't done any pictures, just with one thing and another, everything going on in my life. So I'll stand back and let you have a look. Okay, so this is the jumpsuit. This one does have the sash, which I couldn't make last time. I didn't have enough fabric, but I've made the sash with this one. And I didn't put the C pockets in this time either, because I felt that they were a little bit bulky on my first version. and so I've just chosen to remove those out. If I lift my arms, which I'm not going to do, might cause myself an injury, but if I lift my arms too high, that doesn't work. I'll just step on this step so you can see a little bit more. I might go a little bit dark on that camera, so I might have to lighten that a little bit so you can see it. But again, huge wide legs on this jumpsuit, which I love. It's very swishy. I feel very glamorous. I love it. If I turn around, you'll see the back area a little bit tight. As you may see, it isn't really awful, though I don't think. Let you be the judge of that. But yeah, it is just a fraction, I'd say a fraction tight. But apart from that, I love it. I do wish I'd lengthen, but I can't keep banging on about it. It's done now. But yes, I'm trying to think of anything else that I've done for this. I haven't really. I don't think I changed the bust darts on this. I think I left them as they are. And I don't feel like they need moving. I feel like that they're in the right place, just about. And yeah, I love it. Absolutely adore it. I haven't actually worn it anywhere yet either. We just haven't had a chance with one thing and another. Yeah, so I hope that that was worth waiting for because I did say I was going to get that done a long time ago. And yeah, it did get made, but just, you know, I haven't been able to show anybody or talk about it to anybody with, you know, life getting in the way. But yeah, hopefully you like it as much as I do. Let me know in the comments. Hopefully it's nice, positive things. But yeah, on to my next thing. So on to my next make. This is a make that was, again, another quick job that I wanted to get done for Christmas time. And it is the Adriana blouse by Friday Pattern Company. I haven't made it before, but I wanted to make just some tops really for, you know, going out. I'm really lacking in tops actually, so I do want to get more tops made. But yeah, I just quickly made it in this glittery fabric. However, this glittery fabric is an absolute nightmare and the glitter gets everywhere. I've washed it a few times and still the glitter is coming off. When I was sewing it up, I was really concerned about my machine, thinking it's just going to get clogged up with glitter and ruin my machine. I had to wear gloves at one point because I'm so sick of the glitter being on my hands and not being able to get it off. So I don't know if I'm ever going to wear this because it's driving me nuts, the glitter. But I am going to make the pattern again because I do love it. I think it's beautiful, this top. So you may have seen other people make this. I've seen lots of people make it, but I've just never made it before. So it is, like I say, in this very glittery blue stretched fabric. I really don't know what it is, this fabric. I think it was probably one of my market buys. But yeah, it looks lovely, but it's just, yeah, the glitter gets on my nerves. So it's got elastic in the shoulders here, and you have this beautiful big sleeves, these big voluminous sleeves, and it's elasticated on the cuff. And yeah, you have the front and the back, which is basically the same. So I'll show you the same as the front. I'll just stand up to show you. It's quite a nice length. I did cut off some of the length just so it sits just on my hips really. I thought that would be more flattering. I think it is meant to be shorter, but I didn't want it any shorter. It is nicely fitted. It has got lovely shape to it. And like I say, it's really beautiful. The sleeves are just absolutely gorgeous. And then the back, as I say, it's very flattering, very feminine. Definitely going to make this again. But in a fabric that doesn't shed like crazy. So the sizing I did for this was, I think, a small, and then I think I graded to a medium for the hips. And then when I kind of looked at it, when I tried it on, I felt like it was a little bit snug. So I've actually taken it out a little bit underneath here, underneath my arms, and it's probably more like a medium now on the bust area. It is quite a tight fitting top. It does say it's meant for a B cup. And if you look at the images actually of the lady wearing it on the website, Friday Pattern Company, you can see that it's been fitted to someone that's probably not as curvaceous, let's just put it that way. So that's probably going to be a medium when I make my next one. It'll be a medium on this chest area and down to the waist, the hip area, but I'm going to keep the top as it was, which I think is just a small. I might even take it in just a fraction because I felt that this was just not sitting really very flat on me. If you can see it from the side, it sort of just comes out a little bit. I don't know whether that's just because it needs to be stretched a little bit more, and so maybe the extra small on that neckline may be needed. But I'll just see how I get on, because my next fabric might have a bit more ease in it. This is quite not as much ease in it that probably like a Ponte Roma, which I've got to make for another version. So yeah, I didn't change the length of the sleeves. I thought I quite liked the length of it actually as it was. I know that it's probably meant to sit up a bit higher, so some more sort of 3/4 length, but I've seen lots of different versions, and I actually quite liked the version where most people were wearing it a little bit longer. But yeah, I really love this. There's not really much else I can say for it other than I love it, and I'm going to make more. And I can't believe I've taken this long to make it. Whenever I looked at this, for some reason on the website, I don't know why, it just didn't grab me. And it was only in the Black Friday sale of just gone, the November just gone. I took another look at it and thought, actually, it's really pretty and it's actually really feminine. So I'm so pleased I did buy it. I will make more. I love this whole sleeve thing. I just love it. I love the fact it's fitted and this lovely neck. But I will make more. So that is the Adriana blouse by Friday Pattern Company. Okay, so the third thing, is it third or fourth thing I made for Christmas time was a present for my husband. I made him some Hudson pants by True Bias. I've made them before for him. The first version, I'd made them too long, and then he moaned and said he wanted a certain amount off. I took that amount off, and then they were too short. So, absolute nightmare. I made him some more, added the length back in a little bit for him. And I made him just some grey ones this time. That I got this fabric from Etsy. What's it called? Fleece. Is it fleece fabric? Not fleece. Jersey. Sweatshirting. Jersey. Off eBay. Not eBay, but Etsy. I can't talk. What's going on with me? And I found that you can get some nice sort of cheaper than it is on most websites for jersey on Etsy. I do find it's very strange that you can buy quite cheap or inexpensive, I should say, quite inexpensive jersey items or sweatshirting items from certain shops, ready to wear, that are, you know, completely satisfactory. However, if you try and buy sweatshirting fabric from fabric places, it's actually quite expensive. And I've not quite worked out why this is. And it does irritate me a little bit, especially as jersey is meant to be easy to make or be more accessible, or, you know, perhaps for beginners. I find it actually quite annoying that it's actually quite expensive. And I don't understand why it is expensive when you can go and purchase these items for quite, you know, inexpensively from ready-to-wear stores. And I don't think there's any difference in the quality of the jerseys either. So I want to know what this is. Is there a secret that we don't know about? Somebody's not telling us something here. But I find that really annoying. Anyway, I'll stop whinging. Anyway, so I made the Hudson pants for him, and I had to remove quite a lot from the crotch because it is quite a deep crotch. It is meant to be quite slouchy, I think, these pants, and he did not like that at all. So I had to take off a good 2 inches, I think, off that crotch and lift it slightly. And I did, you know, like I said, I have taken some off the length, but not to the amount that I did originally. I really like this pattern. It's a great pattern. I did buy the cord the same time as the fabric, but the only thing with this cord is it comes with a little toggle on the end, and the other one has fallen off. So that's not great, is it? I've kept it. I will super glue it back on, but it's not great quality. It's probably just worth just buying normal shoelaces, to be honest. But yeah, so I did try doing the contrast stitching around, but as you can see, it's very wobbly. So I am going to redo that at some point. It's just a bit of a mess, isn't it, really? You know, I was in a rush. I was frantically trying to get these made so I could literally wrap them immediately after and put them under the tree for Christmas because I left them too long. But yeah, so that's another one that I made for my little hubby hubster. And then I made another gift, a couple of these actually. Now I watched So Little Time, Karen's vlogs or Vlogmas, and she made these from another tutorial which I can't remember from the top of my head. I will put the link down in the description though. For these face wipes and pouch, which I thought was an amazing idea. I've made these something similar to this in the past, but I just thought they would be very, very lovely. So you just use toweling on one side and then fabric on the other, and you can just use up your fat quarters. I have got quite a few that I've just accumulated, and I've just got through quite a lot now. So that's actually quite good. I think they used certain popper buttons on theirs. I just used Presteds because that's all I'd had, but that's totally fine. But yeah, so I made quite a few of these. I'll put the image of, I think, of a couple I made for people in the corner. But I thought they were great presents for people. And I'll do those again in the future when I run out. So the other thing I made, which was actually for myself, and it's something that I kind of made up because I hadn't got anything for my earrings. I've got a jewellery box that's great for certain things, certain earrings, rings, necklaces and things. But I have a lot of large sort of dangly earrings. I haven't got them in today, but I've just got my, if you can see those, I've got my cats in today, my sparkly cats. But I've got quite a few large dangly earrings that are very delicate or have got a coating on them that rubs off. I don't know if any of you have got any earrings like that, but I've made a pouch to go to put basically my big dangly earrings in. So I'll show you. I kind of just made this up myself. I did get the idea of the little pouches that I've got inside here from a Tiffany's necklace pouch that I was given. My husband gave it me when we first got together, like a really cute little pouch, and I thought that was a really good idea. So I wanted to make something that I could have put my earrings in, so I've made this, and it just folds out. I chose to have just like a pocketed area here, which I've sectioned into 3, so I can put sort of necklaces and things in those. And then I've got these little pouches here, which I have created almost 2 pockets in. So you put one earring in one and then one earring in the other, and it keeps them separate from each other so they don't rub against each other. And I'll show you, I think it's these ones that I've got. Yeah, I've got quite a few of these earrings where they've just got a specific sort of coating on them. And if you rub them, it comes off and just looks awful. So I wanted to make covers or little pouches to put them in because I don't really have anywhere else I can put them in my jewellery box without them rubbing together. So I'll just show you one of these little pouches. It's got basically one area there, and then there's a little flap, and there's another little area. So you've got two in one. And I've made all that section there with the pouches, so I've got all my earrings in them. And again, like I've got some delicate ones, if I can find them, that are just a little bit more fancy, and I don't want them rubbing together really with the other one. So that's what that does. That's just for that. And then I just, this bit up here, made a zip area. So I've got various things in there as well. So I've just put in some things that, again, I kind of like haven't got room for in my jewellery box. And mostly it's kind of jewellery that's a bit more sort of like costume jewellery, I suppose. And all my delicate stuff is in my jewellery box. So yeah, I just wanted that for my earrings, and I couldn't see anything anywhere that was like it. I did Google a few tutorials on YouTube, but there wasn't anything with these little fancy pouches on. So yeah, yeah, so I thought I might do a tutorial for this, mainly for these little sections and how I made them and the dimensions for that and everything. I mean, you could make that much bigger, and you could expand on this as well and put on a hook on the top or a ribbon on the top, so you can hang it on the wall or, you know, in your wardrobe. But I wanted it so it could fold up, and of course you can make it as big as you want or small as you want. But yeah, essentially then I just sort of fold it one section over like that, and then the other section goes over, and then I literally just tying it with these ribbons that I've attached on there. And again, that's another scrap or fat quarter user, what's the word? Scrap busting pattern, I can't remember, whatever you call it. I just kind of made it up as I went along, but I did write notes on it all. So I am going to make another one, and I might film it and you can have it as a tutorial if you wish to. It's always a little nice gift maybe as well, that you could perhaps give to somebody, maybe for your mom, or you could just do it for a friend or whatever, really. But anyway, so that's another thing that I made. And that's it, I think. I don't have anything else that I made. I don't think. There is another thing that I'm waiting for buttons for. And then there's this thing that's over here in the corner, which I haven't quite finished yet. That will be coming up in the next vlog. I'm not even going to say when that will be, because we never know what might happen. I'm not going to tempt fate. I'm not going to say a thing. But I do hope you've enjoyed what I have made, and you've enjoyed seeing me back, and thank you for having me back. I hope that you have had some time to sew yourselves, and you've got loads done. You've probably got way more done than I have. And yeah, I'm thankful that you have returned to me. If you have returned to me, thank you. I'm hoping my life is getting back on track very slowly, and it'll sort of level out a bit and be a bit more calmer. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. But yeah, thanks so much everybody for your amazing support, and I hope to be back soon. And please do look after yourselves, and as always, I'm sending you all loads of love. Bye.